Waking up completely drenched in sweat, staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. again, feeling exhausted before the day has even begun. If any of this sounds familiar, I promise you're in the right place. For so many women in midlife, sleep just becomes this nightly battle, but it really doesn't have to be. Okay, let's dive into this and find some real answers.
This quote, wow, it just hits so hard because it captures a feeling that is way too common. That feeling of being completely dismissed, of being told that this struggle is just something you have to endure. But let's be really clear about something. Your exhaustion is real, your symptoms are valid, and you are so not alone in this.
Not alone is an understatement. You're actually in the majority. I mean, look at this number. A staggering 40 to 56% of women going through the menopause transition report serious sleep problems. This isn't some personal failing. It's a huge, widespread medical issue that deserves real solutions. So the big question is, what's actually going on? Right. And to really understand why sleep gets so completely thrown off track, we have to look past the usual suspects and go straight to the control center, your brain. It turns out what's happening is way more complex and honestly, way more fascinating than what most of us were ever told. This slide right here, it changes everything. For decades, we've all been taught to think of menopause as, a reproductive thing. But the science now shows us it's primarily a neurological transition. Your brain is literally rewiring itself to work in a new hormonal environment. And that's why symptoms like anxiety, brain fog, and, terrible sleep are so common. Okay, let's break that down a bit. Estradiol isn't just a baby-making hormone. It is a powerhouse for your brain's energy and mood. So as it starts fluctuating like crazy, your brain's whole operating system has to adjust. At the same time, progesterone, the hormone that helps you stay asleep, is on a steady decline. And to top it all off, the hypothalamus, your body's thermostat, gets super sensitive, and that's what triggers those sudden night sweats that jolt you awake. Okay, so knowing the why is super empowering. But now let's get to the how. How do we fight back? Well, our first line of defense begins with creating an environment that actively works for your sleep, not against it. This is such a great practical guide to building your own little sleep haven. That ideal temperature, a cool 15 to 19 degrees Celsius or 60 to 67 Fahrenheit, is so key. It helps your body's core temperature drop, which is a major signal for sleep. So swap those synthetic pajamas for breathable stuff like cotton or bamboo, make sure the room is pitch black and quiet, and please make it a screen-free zone. These little tweaks can make a massive difference. Exactly. And building on that perfect environment, let's talk about a wind-down ritual. Having a consistent routine is basically your brain's cue that sleep is coming. Disconnect from those screens. Take a warm, not scalding hot bath, which actually helps your body cool down afterward. Read a rule book, scribble in a journal, or do a few minutes of deep breathing. That predictability is just incredibly calming for a nervous system that's already feeling a bit frazzled. Okay, next up, a tool that is so often overlooked, your food. What you eat, and just as important, when you eat it, can either set you up for a great night's sleep or completely sabotage it. Let's start with public enemy number one for midlife sleep, caffeine. It can hang around in your system for a shockingly long time, like up to 12 hours, which means that 2 p.m. coffee could still be messing with your sleep at midnight. The key takeaway here? Make your cutoff time around noon. Seriously. Front load your caffeine in the morning, then switch to herbal tea or water. And now for the good stuff, the foods that can actually help you. Your body uses an amino acid called tryptophan, found in things like turkey and pumpkin seeds, to make serotonin and melatonin, the feel-good and sleepy chemicals. Magnesium is another hero. It calms the nervous system, and you can find it in almonds and leafy greens. A small, smart snack like a kiwi or a handful of nuts about an hour before bed can give your body the exact building blocks it needs for rest. And on the flip side, we have to talk about the disruptors. Look, that glass of wine might feel like it helps you fall asleep, but it absolutely fragments your sleep later in the night. Spicy foods, heavy meals close to bedtime, they can trigger indigestion and night sweats. Just try to finish your last big meal at least 2 or 3 hours before you turn in. All right, let's talk about movement. We all know regular exercise is amazing for managing stress and improving sleep, but here's the thing. During this stage of life, the timing is everything. Yep, the expert recommendation is about 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week, so think brisk walking, cycling, that kind of thing. But here is the critical part. You have to avoid those really intense, sweaty workouts within 3 hours of bedtime.
A vigorous evening session can jack up your core body temperature and your stress hormones, making it so much harder to wind down and fall asleep. In fact, morning exercise really does seem to be the gold standard here. When you get your body moving early, especially if you can get some sunlight on your face, it helps set your internal body clock, your circadian rhythm. This makes your whole sleep-wake cycle stronger, sending clearer signals to your brain about when it's time to be alert and when it's time to power down for the night. Okay, so we've covered a lot of really powerful strategies you can do yourself, and this is so important, we have to recognize that sometimes they aren't enough. You do not have to suck it up or tough it out. Knowing when it's time to ask for professional help is a true sign of strength. So what are those big red flags that mean it's time to call a doctor? First, if your insomnia has become chronic, we're talking more than 3 weeks, it's time. Same goes for really loud snoring or waking up gasping for air, which could be sleep apnea. Or if you're having those intense, soaking night sweats, or that creepy, crawly feeling in your legs. And honestly, the biggest one, if poor sleep is just crushing your mood and your ability to function, please get some support. And when you do talk to a doctor, one option you should definitely ask about is CBTI. It's a drug-free program, and it's considered the single most effective treatment for chronic insomnia. It basically works by helping you rewire your thoughts and habits around sleep. It retrains your brain to see your bed as a place for rest, not a place for anxiety. Absolutely, and there are other really powerful medical tools available too. For a lot of women, hormone replacement therapy, or HRT, is a total game changer because it addresses the root cause, the hormone fluctuations. There are also some really effective non-hormonal medications that can help. The point is, a personalized plan from a doctor who gets it can make a world of difference. I know we've thrown a lot of information at you, so if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, just start here. This simple 7-day reset plan helps you tackle these changes one small step at a time. Don't try to do it all at once. Just pick 1 or 2 things, be consistent for a few days, and see how you feel. I think the most important thing to take away from all of this is that better sleep is not a luxury. It is absolutely possible to get it back, and it's a non-negotiable part of protecting your brain, your heart, and your overall health for the rest of your life. You really do have the power to make changes that will help. So we'll leave you with this one question. Forget about being perfect. Based on everything we've talked about, what is the one small, simple change you are going to commit to making for your sleep tonight?